and then they run back into.
You know, Sika, here the first 3 days to 1 week of their lives are choosing is the most difficult. You know, all the with the withdrawal symptoms they go through. It happens to be the most difficult time of their stay. That's why for some of them 4 days, 3 days they leave, because they get sick.
Yeah,
they get sick. They can't even put a finger on what is worrying them. Just that the withdrawal symptoms are high. Some of them they vomit. Some of them, you know, it's difficult for them. And so we have to pray for these 7 people from Tudu and Sahara who decided to go and turn their lives around. And big thanks to our listeners, those who prayed, those who supported, those who joined us. Mami joined us with his brother who had come from Nigeria. He joined us on the outreach, you know.
One of the ladies that Jonas Tinkran spoke with, she said she was 12 when she got there. Her friend brought her there and the friend has left her there. She's been there for 9 years. She's now 21 and she's still there. She's hoping that one day she'll be able to get out. And why is she not willing to go with us? People
good one from Osofo. We've been enjoying this for a while now before Christmas came to cross things. Osofo, we enjoyed this, so then Christmas came, so the playlist, no, it had to change. So let's enjoy a little bit of it, yeah? Marvelous and Sunny 88.7 FM. This is the iMDrive. You have just one more day to say bye-bye to the year 2024. And around this time of the year, we are preparing for Hephzibah Worship Conference. It comes early in the new year. Also, for Nii Okai is here with us this morning. I think for a couple of months now, Agyemang, we've all been talking about Hephzibah Worship Conference and the great impact it will make in music, for those in music ministry in one way or the other. Yeah. Also, for this one, yeah, Merry Christmas, Happy Boxing Day, all the ones we missed.
I tell you, 2024
everything
has been that year.
It has been, yeah.
It's been that year. Because talk about Hephzibah, you're talking about Daninete, you're talking about Koda. You're talking
yes.
But we thank God in all things. Yeah. And Hephzibah is coming up again. It's a time where we get to retreat. You know, I was telling one of the young guys doing the work these days that if you are too busy for the first weekend of the year to retreat, then you are too busy.
That's awful.
You just need to take time and then let's just fellowship together. It's not like going to the mountain to Kabe or anything. It's just to relax, just reflect on what the Lord has done in the past year and then look forward to a clear direction for the next year. I believe each and every one of us has a special time with God, but it's something different when we all get together in fellowship. And it's not even during the plenary sessions, but when we are even having meals. God has a way of speaking to you through a colleague, a friend, a mentor, a mentee, you know, sharing their hearts, bearing their hearts, and I have had my ministry transformed because of these sessions. Just a time where you are not looked upon as a star or a minister, and that we are just brothers and sisters in the Lord, just sharing fellowship. It's a wonderful time, and I would indulge everybody to try and be a part of Hephzibah, where you know that ministerial whatever, but you just flow with brethren and share and bear your heart and receive counsel so that the coming year will be even more impactful for you. You were playing the song Koso. You know, it's from John 15 where God is talking about, I'm the vine, you are the branches, and any branch in me that, you know, bears fruit, I prune it so it will bear more fruit. So it's a time of pruning, actually, so that we'll bear more fruit in the coming year. And I'll indulge everybody to make Hephzibah part of your plans for 2025.
So before Agyemang comes in, I wanted to ask you, what has been your greatest highlights over the years with other gospel ministers, people, others in the music ministry?
The greatest highlight for me has been traveling across the world and people say, oh, we've been blessed by your music. I think it's Mokobe, but no, they go and show me the Hephzibah hymns video. Say, how do you get all these guys sitting together singing hymns? And I'm like, it's God. It's God who commissioned this, and it's not easy pulling your brothers and sisters along, I must admit. It's not easy because everybody is like a CEO of their own ministry. But it's the joy it brings to homes when they play these hymns. You know, we used to be blessed by the Gator band, you know, because they started way back. But to see that these hymns are blessing lives across the world, it's amazing. You know, and it's we have countless testimonies. In fact, those who don't even sing but are seen in these videos are even more popular.
All right, Agyemang. We're live on Facebook. You can join in the conversation. We are discussing Hephzibah 2025.
Jenny,
Hephzibah Worship Conference.
I am itching to hear the Hephzibah journey in a more intimate way this morning. I mean, to that person who probably is like, what is Hephzibah? I mean, this morning, to that music minister who probably will be blessed to be there, but probably don't know anything at all. But I'm itching to hear the journey that has brought us to 2025.
Very good question. You know, Hephzibah began with the Trailblazers. That's why I had to mention Koda's name. You know, we got the opportunity in 2004 to travel the US to raise funds for a mission organization called the Pioneers Africa. So we did that in 13 states, raised some good money for them. And before we would go, they camped us at Hephzibah. It wasn't then called Hephzibah. So we actually brought the name because Uncle TV, who was our chaperone, said, oh, call this place Hephzibah. So when we came back, I think Wallax got married, Abigail also, and we decided to start meeting there every beginning of the year with our families to just distress and enjoy each other's company. It so happened that we were also at the forefront of the music, scene at that time. So our big brother Danete joined us, my protege Ijinzuta joined us. Everybody started coming along. KOJO, we had a wonderful time every first weekend of the year. And it was all sponsored by the Hepzibah Christian Center because they just enjoyed our company. So along the line, we brought more people on board, and Mr. Odro, who is the CEO of Hepzibah, said, Nii, have you watched this Gator thing before? He sat me down, he showed me the video. I'm like, oh, but we can do it. Because when we come, we just have a wonderful time of fellowship, worship amongst ourselves. Nothing for the cameras, So I shared it with my brothers, and then we piloted the first one, and it became an instant hit. I think Praise TV had come on at that time, and they insisted on playing it, because they hadn't seen all these musicians just sit together and worship like that. But for us, it's been a retreat, with our spouses. And over the years, some of our spouses were even, saying that, no, the musicians, you've taken over the thing. It's our thing. But it built relationships and families. People don't understand why we call ourselves brothers. It's because we are. Because I'm the only one who will be able to join your wife and say that you have to take care of the home. Such conversations you not get anywhere else. But our wives found, and our husbands found, security in that fellowship, and it sustained us to date. And when some had to even go to Zion earlier, just standing with them and their families sent a strong signal that we need each other. And so we felt that now that the emerging and the current, guys on the scene are also in need of big brothers, friends, true friends, and not competitors. We need to usher them into that fellowship, because that is what sustains us. As for the stage, it will keep drawing from you until you are typically off the scene, because people are looking to, also have the limelight, so to speak. But this builds fellowship and family, and that's why some of our children know each other. It's because of Hephzibah. So this is something that you want to be a part of. I know for some it looks quite distant. Hey, Nii Okai, them say no. We desire to have those leading the charge now be a part of this, so that they can carry it forward and have this thing to bond us together, so that the evil one will not triumph over us with gossips and lies and all these things that try to separate us. Hephzibah is a time of fellowship. It's basically the fellowship, and not really the hymns thing that you see. That one is an outflow of the fellowship time that we have together, essentially.
Jenny, Hephzibah Worship Conference, it's grown. It's grown over the years. I'm sure a bit it's changed a bit.
Absolutely.
It's I don't know, who would you say should be a part of this worship conference? Because it started with a group of friends who are basically in the music ministry, came along with your families to do this. Now I believe a different set of people can be there. Who exactly would you say the 2nd, the 3rd of January should be a part of this conference?
I think it's everyone who believes they are called into this music ministry. I believe so, because we, like the pastors, end up always performing, ministering before people. And even during our regular church, convocations, conferences, we are still ministering, we are still performing. Hepzibah is the opportunity where we now put that cap down and then sit amongst ourselves and have fellowship. So it's for everybody. In fact, everybody whose song is played on Sunday, you should be there.
Yeah, I mean, that's why we are carrying this, because we believe in the fellowship. Yeah,
you should be there, because we also have a prophetic time. And I must say this, none of the things that have happened to us took us by surprise, because God had a way of preparing us for all these things. In fact, some have even had their marriages through Hephzibah.
Oh, sir. I think now some single people are really listening. They were not minding us since we began speaking, but now they're listening.
Oh, yes. I mean, some have been beaten about the bush. And then it was at Hephzibah that their big
they were
said,
empowered.
"What are you waiting for? Get serious now."
I'm sure hit songs have been written at this conference.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, yes. The song that KOJO loves, Krong, by my wife. My wife kept saying that, Hepzibah is for you, the musicians. And then one day she wakes up and says, God has given me a song. So there's some grace in that environment for receiving certain songs from the Lord.
I hope Jenny will search for the song for us.
It's exactly what I'm doing right now.
Kojo, our COO, was in Dubai on a
Alrighty.
conference called Myself, Him, Jenny, and he mentioned the song.
Yeah.
We mentioned the song. So you know my favorite song? We are like, no, we don't know. It's a go look for that song.
Yeah.
I mean, when he was telling us about the conference and some of the ways we're looking at expanding it in the future, he mentioned the song, as well. And I'm thinking that I personally, Pastor Nii Okai, have never felt that I probably should be a part of this conference today, because we play this music. I think we sit somewhere in the Christian music industry as well, and I've never felt that it probably would be good for those of us who are in the industry who are not necessarily musicians or ministers, but then we minister with these songs, we minister with you. I mean, I've never felt that we should even be a part of this conference. You're asking all the right questions, hitting the right knobs. If you look at the flyer for this year's Hephzibah, you see a change from the regular. Normally you would see my face, Joe Metal, Eugene Zuta, Pastor Edwin, but now you see Bernard Avle. You see Yao Pebi. It tells you that we've reckoned that we have to bring the whole ecosystem together. You get it? Those who extend our ministry, those who understand our music, those who are with us. We can't have this retreats, this fellowship alone. We need everybody with us. You get it? And the theme for this particular upcoming Hephzibah is partnership for the gospel. Because we recognize that we cannot do this alone. We cannot do this alone. We need to partner with people that God has already prepared for the work. If it takes me back to when God was sending Moses to Egypt and was saying, I lisp, I'm not able to speak and all that. And he said, okay, I've prepared your brother Aaron. So God has already prepared the JJDs, and Benadavle, all the people who extend our ministry. And I think that fellowship builds it better. And sometimes we need the feedback from you. And that's what I'm expecting from some of our panelists this year, that they'll tell us what we need to do better so that our music will reach more people, because the music has been a blessing, but we can bless more people. We need a pruning, and so that's why the fellowship is important. And one key person coming this year, which for me will be the icing on the cake, is Dr.
Erica Dixon. Why? Because she's a clinical psychologist. I realized that whether by our own doing or not, we are caught in this cycle of depression as music ministers, because there's a lot of pressure to bring the next hit song.
I was speaking to one of the young urban guys, and he says he sunk into a time of depression. He had to see a psychologist. Okay.
Newsflash, we've all been there. You get it? And it's just the sheer expectation. You know, my first album was a hit, Mokobe. So every other album has been pitched against it.
Yeah.
That in itself can depress you, because you're writing great songs, but you're like,
it's Mokobe we want.
The Mokobe I want to. And you can be depressed just because of that. You know, you could be the best voice, but for some reason, you don't even get 2 minutes airplay on Sunny FM. And you may be depressed. You get it. And you're thinking that, no, they are favoring some people, but it's not so. It's just grace and the timing and the chance of God.
Or you sing so well and yet you're not seeing yourself on billboards where others are being invited.
That's another thing. The billboard and flyers, and you know, but this is the world. We are not of this world, but we are in the world, and so we need to encourage each other, you know, and to realize that we are all in this together. And I find that is the powerful witness. When people watched the videos and saw us all sitting together, people they knew and people they didn't know, sitting on the same platform, worshiping together, having respect for each other. You get it? And for some, that made them lose that zeal to compete and to rather collaborate. And so we are having Yao Pebi talking to us about, you know, the power of collaboration, how we can take this further. Sometimes we realize that even the missionaries don't even understand us. You know, they want to do crusades and they're afraid that we'll charge them. And they feel that we don't even understand the ministry. You get it? We need to sit together so that people would appreciate what everybody is putting in and understand that it's one goal, and see how we can do this together. You know, I'm a friend of Sunny. Sometimes Sunny is doing an event, and it's a challenge getting some of my people, you know, because they feel that, you know, we are in this together.
Yeah.
How do we push that narrative to realize that we can actually stand with each other and do more damage to the kingdom of evil, and bring a lot more people to the kingdom? And when a lot more people come, we all stand to benefit. So that's the essence or the ethos behind this particular upcoming Hephzibah Worship Conference, the partnership for the gospel.
So we're looking forward to seeing people like me and Agyemang there, musicians,
yes,
worship pastors, I can say, or music
bloggers.
Pastors, bloggers,
yes,
music directors. That's for them as well. Any other people haven't mentioned that we'd want to highlight or bring to mind that, you know, we would like to see you there as well?
People like my wife who love music. I mean, they are the ones who determine the music.
Also, if you know that your wife went the same church and came to take it from our church, Presby. It's for another conversation, but also, let's continue.
You know, because I mean, they would say, "I still want to hear that song, Jenny." They will get the time to send you that message.
Okay.
So when we are in the same ecosystem, they'll get to appreciate that. Oh, maybe they should also encourage some of the people who are coming up, because people get depressed when, you know, they don't get their music played at all and stuff like that. So there's a lot of conversation around the table, and I normally would tell people, I know you can plug in online, there'll be an opportunity for that, but it's not the same as sitting by, you know, Agyemang and asking him a simple question. So because somebody did that to me. So how can I get my song on your status?
Oh. I don't know how I would answer.
You get it.
The expectations on people's heart, and we may not know till we sit around and have these conversations.
Yes, people have expectations. And interestingly, you know, they just want to be heard.
Yeah. Okay.
They don't want you to spin it or tell them, flatter them. No. But the mere fact that they were able to bear what was on their heart, and the way you had the patience to listen and smile and say, look, don't give up. Just keep on pressing. Me too, I want somebody to put me on their status. It's not easy. No, I shared a wonderful, maybe let me say it openly, that look at the height that God has taken Diana Hamilton. She still sends me messages in my inbox. Could you please put this on your status? I mean, she still does that.
Yeah.
But sometimes the sense of entitlement is too high. Because you're like, I also posted, you didn't repost, but you didn't even ask. God is saying, Matthew 7:7, ask. And you shall receive. Seek. I mean, knock and hear that, oh, I'll do it later or something. You get it? But sometimes we give up too quickly because we think somebody has already favored somebody more than us. But the person you are thinking favor, he is also crying about something else. You know, but together we can do more for the gospel and do more for Ghana and do more for Africa and do more for the kingdom. It's so important.
So far, how are the various days going to look like? Run us through the dates and what each day is going to look like.
So it's actually a days thing. It starts from Friday at noon and ends on Saturday at noon. It used to end Saturday evening, but we started noticing some withdrawal symptoms. I'm just using you know, the pastors are thinking about their first
Sunday service,
you know, of the year and all that. So you have people trying to run away and all that. But what we are doing is Friday we come. You check in. For those who are lodging at Hephzibah, those who are coming day, you just come and join us. And then we spend, after lunch, we spend that whole afternoon just rehearsing, sharing, mixing, you know, getting to know each other. So that hymns thing you do is not a really polished rehearsal, no. We are all gifted people, so we sit around and like, oh, I really love this hymn. Okay, then you do the third verse. Okay, let's try this rhythm, you know. And that's 2-hour session teaches a lot. You learn a lot. You giggle with somebody you always saw on stage, and then the next moment you are inviting a person to your own program back at home because you sat together at Hephzibah. You get it. So when that is done, we then start the first plenary session, which is like the hymns night, which will be dotted with messages from our speakers. So Dr. Yalpebi will come in, Bernard Avle will come in, and then at the climax of the hymns night, we'll have Prophet Achu Manasseh just minister. He's different when he's among minstrels. It's like sometimes he forgets his messages because, I mean, the power of God is so strong, and normally God gives him a word in season for everybody, you know, and for the nation and for what we represent. So that is how the first night is going to be, a night of music and worship and his word. That fellowship. We wake up in the next morning, we have breakfast together. You know, most of the time we'll be on the hill. So, you know, people trek, they do their walk up the hill. So last year, for example, we had these placards. You know, we just stood there and then did a bit of placard evangelism. Okay. But and they minded us because they'll pass and like, is this Joe Metal?
That's interesting.
Very, very beautiful. And then we go into the second session. Now, this second session is more about us.
Okay.
So the first session we have guests, people come in, sit amongst us. We have that record. But the morning session is just us. And that is where the clinical psychologists will come and speak to us. And then our host, our principal host, Mr. Patrick Odro, would also speak to us about how we can join. He sits on many boards, especially those into mission and all that, how we can partner what God is doing today across the world. as music ministers, because sometimes we are fighting for a very small platform, but God has worked for us across the world. And so you are crying that your song is not played on Sunny, but God is sending you to Indonesia, to Indonesia,
Kazakhstan,
to Kazakhstan, because there's a mission thing there, and they need a mission-minded musician who is ready to go, who will write the songs for the nations and all that. And are we ready for these things? Sometimes we have to hear from the missionaries themselves and then know how to align to do the work that God has called us to.
I am seeing some messages here. Calvis, hi Calvis. He says, awesome. Looking forward to Hephzibah 2025.
Absolutely.
Pastor Helen Yawson is here. She's giving a thumbs up. Pastor Joseph Jevi says, powerful. It's exciting.
Yeah.
Fred O'Day says, a great inspiration to attend the program in spite of tight schedules. Yeah, as a software said, usually that time of the year is pretty tight. People have plans, but great that you have plans to be a part. Perpetua Breachum says, simply can't wait to be a part of this gathering. And Solomon Aite says, great program. Also, what does it take for us to register to be a part of this?
So iStream is supporting us on this, and so in those in Ghana, you just have to dial *887 *274 #, and then it opens a bouquet of options for you. You can register online. You know, you can register as a day participant. It means that you're not lodging at Hephzibah, or you can register to be there at Hephzibah and choose whether you want to be in a standard room, executive room, alone. It should be paired, you know, which meals to be a part of. You know, when we started there, we had some mandatory fast.
New Year fast.
You know, just to manage costs. But, you know, as we grew up, we realized that no, fasting is not by force. You know, you have to be led. And so you can choose to come and not go near meals at all. Nobody will stop you, or decide to have a real buffet, you know, with your family. You can also bring family.
That's wonderful.
Yes.
I was just about to ask you about that.
You can bring family. It's a wonderful ecosystem to be in for family and prayer and all that. And so your children will not be left out at all. They will have a lot of fun whilst we are having our session and all that. So you can also bring family to Hephzibah. So you do that, or you can call 0244 870873. 0244 870873. A wonderful woman called Angela. She's an angel. She will see to you. Any queries, any help, you know, just in case you are using a cassava phone like I used to do and it's not working the way you want, just reach out and then we'll be able to support you. But whatever the case, just make sure you plug into Hephzibah. Even if you can't do it physically, we would always put links out. Once you do the registration, we'll put links out for you to be a part of this wonderful time of fellowship.
So we at Sunny are proud to be media partners for Hephzibah Worship Conference 2025. It means that from now till it ends, you're going to be hearing a lot about it on the radio. So keep your dial right here on Sunny 88.7 FM. Please share the word. If you're thinking, Jennifer, I think I could use this flyer to share with a brother or sister, your church, please just send us a hi. Let us know I need the flyer. We'll share the flyer with you so you can spread the word, and let's all be a part of this family. You know, Osoph was talking about the brotherhood they share. Him, he mentioned Koda, mentioned Danny, Bosco, Joe, Joseph. I've always sat back and admired these people. They've just managed to stay together for so long. It is so admirable. Their wives or friends, their children, some of them even some children's children, some people's children look like other people's children. I mean, it's pretty interesting. So I'm hoping that this family we can see among our younger gospel musicians also coming up, and we can stay together, fellowship together, stay focused together.
You know, before we go, I think for some younger ministers, this will be the direction they've always wanted in their ministry. You know, for those who are very confused, they don't know where they're going, this will be the very direction God will be putting in their ministry, exactly where to go. So I would encourage you to join in. Let me just put the numbers on one more time. You can register, dial star 887 *274 #. Dial star 887 * 274 hash, or call Angie on 0244 870873. Again, it's 0244 870873.
So here is Chrome from Nii Okai, written by Mrs. And this question says, are all genres of Christian